Do you still consider yourself a blue-collar defense?
Absolutely.
And why is that?
That's what we are. We read numbers around here too much. I mean, I know what we are, and I know how we practice this week, and I know how we, some things that we do well and some things we don't do well. I mean, it's about their attitude, and I think they stepped up today. They played through the play, they played through the series, and they played through the quarters, etc. You know, and early in the season, you know, we give away trash yardage when the game was over and things like that. We just weren't playing that way. But that's the first thing. We've got some players that can play for anybody, but we got a bunch of players who just blue collar, you know, for lack of a better word.
The secondary has struggled this season, even in some of the better performances where he shut down Vandy's rushing game. There were still some yards passing. That drive last week against Auburn, they moved the ball through there a little bit. But today, he gave up 17 yards passing, made 4 picks. Just you talk about the progression that the secondary made today. I'm sure I know they got help from the front line on defense, but just the way the secondary played today.
I thought their coverage was a lot better. It took the air out of the coverage quite a bit. I also saw them drop some footballs. And then we had some great pass rush at times. So, you know, we've gotten some players back since the early part of the season. I think some of the guys have gotten a little comfortable with the jobs. There's competition now. There's rotation when they get tired. There's a lot of factors creating improvement. And I think we have improved. But that being said, you know, I think we still, you know, can get better back there. Again, we read numbers and we come to conclusions. John?
Looked like your linebackers were more effective today, or at least more active. Is that accurate?
I think they made some plays, but the one thing that did concern me in the game is that the quarterback runs up inside and occasionally a couple of counters. If there was anything that was maybe a little bit steady for Kentucky, they got some yards up inside, and it's got to be something to do with linebacker fits. It's defensive line and linebackers, but have to look on the film, you know, to see exactly what it was. But I think they've played well, and that's one position, you know, we kind of rotate them in linebacker by committee, and they stay fresh. But I think they played better. I was looking at the film and just see how well they did play.
Ellis, I know you don't want to look at stats, but at least looking at the kind of game that you had, what really worked well for the team today? What is it that you're going to be really wanting them to work on heading towards Mississippi State?
Well, we finally, I think, have found, you know, when you put things in spring and preseason and you're working against your own offense, a lot of things are good, but we're facing a lot of offenses very different than our offense, and we finally, I think, through the early part of the season, we've thrown some stuff out the window that we used a lot during spring ball and preseason. I think we've been able to condense it a little bit, and that's helped the players play with more consistency. And then on the other side, the players have played better, and that allows you to be a little bit more simple, if you will, and reduce things. So we're carrying a lot of the same calls week after week and just adjusting them to other people's offenses. And I think that's helped our players quite a bit, eliminate some of the mistakes we've been making.
Anything else for Ellis?
Ellis, was Woodlock available in the first half, and then when he did play in the second half, how well did he do?
I don't know. I'll have to look at the film just to see how well he played. He didn't start. I know Marty and Stefan got to start, but I know he made one nice play. It was really hard to find very few times, I think, where we were totally out of coverage. We got a bad play on the halfback sweep pass early in the game, and our post player came out of the post. We should not be doing that on any kind of runs. So that was one play that stands out in my mind. And they dropped a couple of curl routes and things, and people don't get open on those. But he played pretty good, I think. And, you know, again, we have to look at the film, see the consistency part of it.
Happy Randall. Let's go back here.
Coach in the back here, Coach Burr was just in here a couple of minutes ago saying he had no idea Melvin even played today. Does that surprise you at all that he would say something like that?
You have to ask Coach Burr. Yeah.
Can you talk about how the defense this year has been able to force turnovers? You had 6 today, but you forced a lot of turnovers this year.
Yeah, we forced turnovers even in the opening part of the season where we weren't playing good in all areas. So I think when you've got a defense as fast as we are, if you play by assignment, be in position, you'll get your share. But I think the biggest thing that's creating turnovers for us right now is the pressure on quarterbacks, and our pass rush has been very good. And we've blitzed very little over the last few weeks.
Andy?
Ellis, I know, again, you have a distinct, I mean, don't want to talk about stats, but you've had another really impressive game with the 17 yards passing that you allowed. Is it a situation where your defense is that good, or the offenses aren't that good?
I don't know. I think we've gotten better. And again, I've already alluded to what's helped our pass defense. And I'm not discounting statistics altogether. I just think sometimes you sit down and read them all the time, you don't know what the players are doing. But, we had a good game today. A few balls they threw, probably shouldn't have been thrown. But at the same time, there were some guys open. They dropped some passes. And again, I think the other thing, we're better on first down. Had a lot of third and longs. Third and shorts and third and mediums weren't that good in percentage. Third and longs were better. But I'm not saying we're not improving. I'm just saying that it's still a work in progress. And one game doesn't make a season. And one season doesn't make a program.
Anything else, Ellis?